Hi everybody, you know me as David from Squatch Walking. Normally don't do videos like this, but I was told that I should do a video about an incident that happened last week on investigation. I've already tried doing this a few times, and I said I'm not one to be in front like this and do this kind of video, because I'm trying to make it shorter than originally 3 times I did, because I'm trying to keep this down to at least a half an hour. I'm starting to feel a little better. Something happened last week with me and daughter Megan, aka Youngblood, because it's my youngest daughter. Some of you probably know it's her too, because she's been starting to come out with me since last summer. I don't know how to explain this to you. It was, I don't know, no video, no picture. Who's gonna believe 2 people? But I'm going on a limb here to tell my story, because a friend of mine that does looking for Sasquatch and trying to look for proof and stuff. I told him my story, because I told a lot of people my story, to try to figure out exactly what we captured with our eyes, with our mind, and why we didn't use cameras and all that. Last Friday, during the day, it was our Friday night investigation was to be our 3rd attempt this year to start the new season, and for 2025. But the weather here around Ontario, southwestern Ontario, Canada, we've been getting hammered with snow, and so we've had to cancel twice the trip, because due to the bad weather, and I wasn't about to take a risk with my daughter getting us abandoned in a car when it's extremely cold and snowing, and roads are going to be closed, and there's no guarantee that we can get to any of these locations. 2 locations that we were going to try to investigate, to 2 different gifting sites. All last week I was packing up to go, making sure batteries are all charged up, brand new batteries put into things, make sure I have all the cameras I need, all the recording stuff I need, like all the cameras, all the GoPros, the game cameras, make sure the flashlights are working right. They're all brand new. They're like they have like zoom in and out, and they can see up to about a mile away, and we have 2 other ones that does the same thing, and they also you can switch it automatically on the flashlight to go red, blue, and green, as well as white. Then we have red flashlights. Anyways, I got everything all packed up, and during the day when I got finished being all packed up, I sat and I do what I normally do. I talk to my bipedal friends at the one gifting site, and now I talk to them to the bipedals at the other gifting site. I don't know if they're related or they're the same. I don't know, because I don't know well enough to definitively say that there's 2 clans or there's just one. and I can 100% or 99% say they are now moving. Probably moving up instead of down because the weather is changing. Friday afternoon, I was sitting on my lakeboard couch between watching TV and except for the wife when she gets home, so that my daughter Megan, young blood, I can pick her up after supper and we can go on vacation. Friday afternoon, I was sitting there and I do what I normally do. I talk to my bipedal friends and I told them that we were coming up. This time we're going to make it up. Even though we've got hammered with snow, I think that the snow would have been, roads would be passable, which they were. Thank God. But it was still snowing, but very, very light. I was talking to the bipedal friends, telling them that I got some apples for them at the one location, gifting site, and apples for the new gifting site, as well as some candies and gifts as well. I try to bring gifts for the guys, the women, and the children. They all deserve something. Whether it's food, like whether it's fruit, candy. I try to keep the same fruit because they're liking the apples. Gummy bears and other fruit, another package of like fruit candy, like fruit. And then I buy nice things, just different things I've been buying to add with, so that I say this is for the women because it's pretty. This is for the guys, so just share, and these are for the kids. It's for them. They can play with, and don't take it on them. And I tell them that don't take anything that belongs to the kids, because you got your own stuff. And if you take anything from the little kids or eat their food, I promise, and I tell them, I promise you that I'll be upset, and I won't bring you anything period, or just for a period of time. I won't bring anything. And I said I'll just bring it for the kids and for the females. Okay, so, and then I started going in as well, saying you don't have to give me gifts like you did last time. At the location I'm going to, the first location. Last time I said when I was there, when I was going down, you don't have to give me anything. It would be nice, but you don't have to. But the stuff I give you is yours. If you go back to last season, when I go in the compound gifting, you will see that what they did to the rocks and what they gave me, and then you can look up what they gave me and what for. So I did the same thing this time, and I also told them that you don't have to give me anything. I would appreciate if you did give me something. I would appreciate it like the last ones you gave me, and I hung it on the wall. But you don't have to. But I said it. But at least if I'm not able to use the cameras, and I probably will know when I get to your location, whether with the weather permitting, if I will be using the cameras or not, because I'm not sure how much snow we have to trek, and I pack a lot of gear. So I left it with that, and then I said 5 minutes later, if I and Youngblood do not take pictures, videos, or stills, then maybe you can show us yourself, because if we don't take the pictures and you show yourself, who's gonna believe two people who don't have any proof, like a video or still? And I said, you can do that if you like, just give us a sign. Maybe show yourself if you can. I appreciate it if you can, please, because I'm trying to build trust with you. And so, this is the freakiest thing to talk about. So bizarre, so mind-blowing, so off guard, energy just skyrocketing, brain going around, your eyes are focused on one spot because you can't believe what you're seeing, and you're trying to tell yourself, I know what I see, and I can't be seeing what I see, what I'm looking at. Don't mind me if I'm kind of like this right now, because it's late at night and down the basement in my workshop. It's quite a big bunch of stuff in it that I do stuff, and I play with electronics and stuff. So Friday night, I load up the car when the wife gets home, have supper, I go pick up young blood, and she's waiting at the end of her driveway in town nearby. It's on the way to the first location, or both locations, but closer to the first. You're standing at the end of her driveway with a backpack. I pull up, back up, she puts it in, and off we go. The roads don't look too bad. They're pretty good out there. So while we're talking, she told me that she is going to say, I should be more in tune in it. So I said, yeah, okay. And then I was telling her on the way down that if we see anything, or if you see anything, or you hear anything, like a tree knock, them making a noise, rock clacking, sticks tapping trees, the whoops, whatever, or if you see something, just don't say anything to me. Just analyze it, try to figure it out for what amount of time you want to do it. And then if you think it warrants me to look, so that you want me to see what you're seeing, so you're not going crazy, let me know. Say, Dad, shh, be quiet, stop, be quiet. And I said, so she said, okay. So anyways, we get out to the first location. And of course, there's like 2.5, 3 feet of snow. And it's just like right up at her knees, and it'll be a little higher. And I'm going to Megan, I'm taking the gear with me. This is going to be a lot of snow. The trek in the dark. It was around 9:30 at night. Gets dark early over here, and it was very cold. We brought the gear that I brought. We were going to use a game camera to set up on a tree to see, come back 3 hours later to see if anything's gotten taken by the gifting spot. So I told Megan, I said, here's the camera. I don't think we're going to be able to use it because I'm not sure. This is going to be a hell of a walk to the compound. So she said, okay. And I said, you got your camera going? She goes, no. I said, no, I'm not bringing any either. So I said, bye, Peter friends, we're not bringing any cameras with. So we're bringing, but we're not filming. We're not filming any video, and we're not doing any stills. We won't have time to do that. And So if you want to show yourself, or just let us know that you're there. So we trek up to the spot. We're from where we park and to where the compound is, it's about a 15-minute walk maybe. Because I've been there, I know how to get to it without anybody throughout the year seeing me going through. And I try to do it when I'm the only one there. So anyways, it's about 9:30 at night. We're climbing up a hill, then we have to make a turn, and this 10-15 minute walk is taking us about half an hour to 40-minute walk through the snow. I'm carrying my gear. Megan's carrying her flashlight. She's got my stick. She's looking around, and I'm carrying a 7-pound bag of apples. Plus, I have more stuff in the back for them. We get into the woods. I'm looking at the trails. I'm looking at like game trails. What's been going on? What's been moving around? Looking to see if I can see any Sasquatch prints or anything. And I'm walking up where the path would normally be, and I look on the ground and I see deer trail. That's all you pretty much see is deer and rabbit out there. Not really anything for squirrels or chipmunks or what was it? Skunks would be hibernating. No raccoons either. So I was walking, I'm looking down the ground, left to my right, to my left, and a set of rabbit tracks caught my attention. They were very fresh, probably within the last 15 minutes. I look at them and I'm seeing where it is at the in front of me, and it's off to the side, and I'm looking at it and seeing where, just seeing where it's going, and I'm looking, and then it stops. And I'm perplexed. I'm just trying to figure out. And I've seen people on their investigation that what happens when the track ends and there's a tree. And these rabbit tracks stopped about a foot from the tree. And I am looking all the way around me. I'm looking all the way around the tree. I can't see a damn rabbit track continue on anywhere. Not 5 or 6 feet away from. Like, no rabbit tracks. I didn't even walk on rabbit tracks. And I told Megan, Youngblood, I says, look at this, and told her how weird it was and all that. She said, oh, it's just probably went in a different direction. And I said to her, Megan, where's the tracks? Show me. Where did they go? I said, they go right up to the tree and it's gone. And she's looking around and says, take a look. Look, 3, 4, 5 feet around the diameter of this tree. What do you see? She goes, nothing. I says, yeah. And where are these tracks going? She goes, a dead stop. I says, yeah. Do rabbits crawl in trees? I don't think so, Megan. I says, then they don't go back on their own tracks, backwards. So that started making me, that itself set the tone for the night for our walk into the gifting spot, the first one. We weren't quite just there yet. And I looked around because then I started feeling like we could be being watched. Because rabbit tracks gone in the fresh snow with fresh tracks. There's a tree there. Rabbits can't climb trees. No other tracks. I'm trying to think that something's at play here. And I'm looking and I'm shining the flashlight to see if there's anything out here. The only things I would find out here would be rabbits, deer, and coyote. Didn't come across any kind of coyote dog prints. A little bit of deer prints, and then a few rabbit tracks in that one that stopped. I wish I had the camera out doing stuff, but I told Megan and I that we weren't taking that I want to take the cameras, do pictures, and I told my big friends we're not going to do that because the weather conditions. It's hard to explain. You have to be there. So we continue on the trail, and I get to where I can go into where the compound is because it's one of the spots I go into. So we're going in, and we're stepping on logs underneath there, like trees have fallen, branches. So it's like they're tripping hazards, and when you go and hit sticks, you can go right even further down. And there is no clear path where you have no prickers gonna prick you. You have no kind of vines that are like stick vines and they're coming out of the ground and they're just twisting all over the place. And you have to fight through all this. So there's no way that you can't make a noise going through. We were making noises going through. You can hear our boots go in the snow. You can hear all the what do you call it? Vegetation rub up against us. You can see it. You know, you got vegetation. It's going to our face when you have to clear it. So we get to the compound. The compound wall is about 3.5, 4 feet tall. So we kind of like hurled right over side of it, like went over side of it, and went to a tree. What I thought was a gifting tree because it was about 15 feet from the compound wall, and it's got a big den and all that, and big tree, big log tree going right across. I have most of the branches ripped off it, and the big root ball at the end where the sticks would be. So the tree that I've been gifting, it looks like the same, but it just everything looks different at night. And so I tried digging at the bottom of the tree to see if I could find the rocks or something there, but I went through like about 2.5 feet of snow, and there was a void with some greenery under it, and I want to put my hand in there, whether glove or not. I don't know what's underneath there that would attack. So I just took the apples, cleared off this branch tree that came across. It's brand new. It fell something between fall and last Friday the 21st. So I'm clearing off the branch, and I'm starting to like put the apples on one at a time, and maybe doubling them up, and then coming down, knocking the snow off, and putting the apples so it's down, don't fall. And I'm talking to the bipedal friends, and I'm saying, hey, my bipedal friends, here's your apples. We're not taking pictures today or anything else, but I have apples here. I'm putting them here. They're for you, and they're for all other God creatures that might be hungry if you want to share. Okay? And while I'm doing that, Megan, Youngblood, she is to my left. She is about 5 feet away from me. She's looking at the compound wall, like she's looking, and then she hears a stick break, and that got her like curious what's doing that. And she said that for the first 10-15 seconds after she heard the tree branch break on the ground, she was seeing two eyes. They had for several times in that 10-15 seconds. The eyes would come up behind on the other side of the compound wall, like about 8 inches apart. They're pale yellow. They would come up about a foot and a half above the 3.5, 4 foot log wall that's been placed there all the way around this compound calling it a corral kind of thing. It's not done by man. Because why would they do it? Because if you would have seen what's inside it, why would they do it? And how could they do it? So she's looking at it, and then she is in shock, and she said, holy shit fucking balls. Yeah, holy shit fucking balls. Eyeballs. And I'm just telling you like it is. And I go, where? And she says, where my flashlight's pointing. I go, where's that? And she showed me. She's right there. And I have my flashlight on. And I'm looking, I see nothing. And I put my flashlight on there. She's got it wide open so she can try to see what's all there. She can see the compound wall covered in snow. She can, except for where we were at, she can see stuff like behind it and in front of it clearly with the flashlight because they are bright. And I have the beam focused on there, and I says, where is it? Like, it's not. And then all of a sudden these two eyes come up. It's like they're looking and they're down. It did this like about 3, 4, 5 times up and down. It was almost like a kid popping their head up, looking at you, and then putting it back down. You know, like curious. But she had her beam on wide. I had mine on sharp, and these flashlights can go up to a mile. Now, the compound wall is 15 feet away, about 15 feet, and this thing's on the other side. When this thing wasn't peeking up, you can see the snow in front of the wall. You can see where we came over it, and in between it's just dark. Above the wall, you can see all the plants and stuff. You can see it. But when the eyes pop up, you see nothing there. Like what you would think would be a head or something, and it's popping about 1.5 feet above a 3.5, 4 foot wall. So you're looking at 6 feet. That's just for the eyeball. And while Megan's trying to look at it, trying to figure out what it could be, I told her so she wasn't scared, or would be too scared, because it started like, somebody told me when you see one of these things, because she saw them in the Appalachian Mountains, but now she lives here in London here. She said it'll be an experience that you will never forget, because your mind and your body will react in a way that it's never reacted before. And I was wearing a protection bag on me, and I could not see a face. Every time I come up, my main focus was, why can't I see a face? And if I'm trying to tell my daughter, Megan, young blood, but the deer, so she's not scared, she's telling me I don't see anything but eyes. And I said, I know. I said, what's going on here? I says, we can't see through it. And he says, every time it pops up, I can't see a certain amount, but when it's down, I said, I could see all the vegetation stuff, but I can't see if it's a deer. I can't see ears. I can't see a face. I can't see a muzzle. I can't see a chest. It stands. I can't see the body, any part of it. Just two eyes and about 8 inches apart, and between the two eyes and above and below, and so much around it. Okay, flashlight wouldn't go through it. It wouldn't go through it. And I'm trying to, in my mind, very, 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 very quickly, trying to debunk what I'm looking at. And how can you debunk something that you got two strong flashlights flashing on it? All you can see is frickin' eyeballs. And Megan says, hurry up, put the rest of the apples up, let's get out of here. Because if it's a coyote, which there wasn't any around, especially if it's one, it won't attack. We didn't want it to attack us because we weren't mad or upset. We were just, for the first time, seeing that. It freaked us out. It scared us, got our adrenaline going. We're not mad at the bipedal friend. We're not. It would have been. I have to now tell it to let us know when you're there, to give us a sign, maybe do some whoops or try to talk to us before we're going to be, before we're going to see you, or tree knocks or something, so we know and we're prepared. This was like a shock to us, it was a shock to the brain, to the eyes, to the whole body. It knocked us chemically and consciously out of whack. So we went out the same way, and because that's where this being on the other side of the fence was. It was exactly where we had come across. So when the eyes went up and down, turned left, and then looked again, and bouncing up and down a couple of times, or bobbing up and down, looked to the left again. Then on the third time, it looked to the left and then disappeared. And I said to Youngblood, did you hear anything? And she said, no. So we decided to get out of there. Because we're not familiar with the place at night. Okay? We're going to go back. We have to go back. It's got us very curious and want to get answers. We go back to that spot, and I'm looking at the other side of the wall, and I'm looking down with a flashlight. There's no footprints, anything. There's no footprints. It made no noise leaving. There was no smell. But then again, it was 15 feet away, but it was dead quiet. But we could not see where it, we know the direction it went, but we saw nothing on the ground. And it would have had to left trails. It would have had to get caught up in the bushes, the leaves, the prickers and stuff. Nothing. And so we just got out of there. We went back on the main trail, going back to the car, and it took us like another 30 minutes to get back. We were trying to pick up pace and take a shortcut to go back to the car. And we're talking about it, and we're trying to debunk what we saw. And we let's just say that if you looked at us, we would look like two crazy people. I feel a little crazy. I know I'm not crazy, but I feel people are gonna look at it that I'm crazy. You can think all you want. I don't care. So we're gonna go to the next location to gift. And between that and the first place, when we're driving, we were talking about in the car, try to debunk and go through everything that we can figure out, every scenario, that what it could not be. Why did we not see this and see that? Why did we freeze and just our eyes were just like right on it, trying to figure it out. So we're going to the second location, but we can't go to it because the side road hasn't been plowed, and there's no way I'm going to go back up and then rush right through the intersection with a stop sign that I would have to stop at to go through what all I can see is 60 feet of two and a half feet of snow, just to find out that there's more there and I can't go any further and I'm stuck. So we decided we're going to go to a third spot, because I picked a last spot that was told to me by Upper Canada Sasquatch. And so I told Young Blood we're going to go there and hopefully we can get in. Same thing. The road, remember, was plowed to the gate, to the as you would say in the States, the Warren's Gate. Here we call it Conservation Gate. And so you can't get through there. The snow is about 2.5, 3 feet tall. And when I backed up, I went to see we normally would go in. We wouldn't be able to go in. So we just decided, well, we're going to call it a night and all that. And on the way home, we just tried to debunk it. But what we saw has engraved in our mind. We can't get the visual. It left that much of an impression that it's there. And for a few days it affected me. It wasn't until late last night, and I'm saying late last night because I was feeling still electrical current and stuff going through my body, my face, my upper part of the chest, and a little bit of feeling of that for some reason that I'm going to pass out. That's how much it affected me. Megan says that that's all she sees is that in her mind. I talked to so after that, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And Wednesday I talked to several people in the United States, several people in Canada, some white people, some Native American people, and I kind of explained a little bit of what happened, but I says I have questions for you, and maybe you can answer and maybe help me understand that, and so I can tell Megan what we saw, and that are we crazy? And everyone said, no, you're not crazy. You saw a cloaked Sasquatch. And I said a cloaked one. That's why we couldn't see through it. And they would say yes. I said, oh, okay. And they said, because you had pure intentions. And they knew before you left. And they knew when you were there, you were an honorable person. And that you weren't going to shoot with cameras and pictures. So it felt it can trust you. So when you were there, it was interested in seeing what you were doing. So it was peeking up and down behind that wall, but cloaking itself. And the eyes you saw is the skin color as when a Sasquatch is cloaking and all that. And when it left, it pretty much probably left as an orb or something, or like some kind of spiritual light or something like that. We didn't see anything. It's like the eyes just started to turn to the left, and then it just like it went straight and gone. But then again, it could have went that way and we weren't looking. I wasn't looking, going like seeing where it went. It was just like total shock that it was there, and I'm still looking and it's like gone. And there's no footprints. So as if they're spiritual creatures, and they can go and they don't have to be touching the ground. And it doesn't have to make noise. So I wasn't gonna do this video, but a friend told me that you don't have pictures, you don't have videos. That's fine. That's why you are gifted with seeing a cloaked one. And just think about it, if you were to take if you had your cameras going and taking pictures and setting up for game camera, it would have known, and you most likely wouldn't be able to see it. So I said, yeah, but if I tell my story, people are gonna think I'm crazy. He says, no. He says, you don't have video and all that. You just had an experience that you will never experience again unless you see it again. But it's a one in a lifetime right now experience. You need to tell your story. And so I wasn't going to still, because of what people are going to say, but I'm too old for that shit, guys. But people want to stomp on me and any others that are out there without the proof that there's no such thing. Whatever, whatever, believe what you want, I don't care. But don't go around telling everybody there's no such thing as Sasquatch or Bigfoot. You're going to have to prove it first that there is no such thing. I could show you a thing, and you have to tell me exactly what it is and why it was there, and who or what put it there, and what's the reason. You got to tell me that. So try doing that. So anyways, I guess I'm gonna put this video out there. I would like to hear your comments. I don't want to hear nastiness. I don't want to hear from trolls and all that, because I'm not going to respond. Alright, and no nasty verbal words or anything. If you want to contact me and be a subscriber on Sasquatch Walking YouTube channel and get notifications and stuff, you will. There's going to be a backup to this. We are going back. We're going to wait till the snow melts more, and we're going to go at night again, and we're going to do like a documentary investigation on the compound and the gifting area, and what we saw and where we saw it, and what direction, and try to go and document the area at night to see, or try to figure out what happened. We have to. This thing's got our attention. We didn't feel threatened. We just had nearly the shit scared out of us, pretty much, and in shock. But we're not mad. We have more questions than answers. I still want to meet with them and talk to them. That's my goal in life, and to sit down. But I'm not telling anybody where these places are. I can't have people that are like trolls or unbelievers try to follow me there. Or if I tell you guys where it's at, they go there and they destroy things. No, I'm not doing that. What's it? Seeing is believing, and seeing and believing and messed with is another whole ball game. I still are feeling something from that day, and I probably will for a long time, but it's subsided. I can feel when it's doing it. It's like being overloaded with zapness and stuff. So anyways, sorry for being so long here. I guess we're at 45 minutes, so I'm gonna stop this now and just do this as doing this as one long raw story. And so please like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you're a non-believer and you want to say, hey, maybe like a debunking, could have been this that you saw, then maybe I can answer and say yeah or no, and explain if you say maybe it was this or that, and then I can maybe tell you if you're this and that, if there's anything that's there that can correlate with it, and then I can say yes or I can say no to it. I'm just not looking for mean people, because if you are, I will spread your name around. So, but if you want to chit chat with me, you can go to Messenger. You can poke me there to be friends. You can go on the Facebook and click on friend request, and then we can talk over. I'm usually home during the day. I'm on Eastern time zone. Okay. If you want to talk about this with me, or if you have a story about that, about your encounter, then please, you can talk to me. I'll sit there and listen for about half an hour to an hour, but then I gotta go. If you have a story you want to talk about and it's on a video, or it's just on verbal, like voice message, and I can post it. If I could post it on the Facebook page, please. Looking for truth, like real things, experiences, things that you've seen. If you want to type out your story and all that, and you want to leave your name out of it or put a different name, that's fine, as long as it's real. Okay. If you have any artwork you want to show that about your experience, give an idea. Okay. Send all this stuff to me to our email account. Okay. I'll have that on the either on the bottom of this screen, or when you're looking at the screen to your right, which is my left. I'll try to have in there, but I'm also going to have the date of when this happened. But I'll tell you, February 21st was last Friday, and it was about 9:30. We had experience of our lifetime, and it's one we will never forget. And in a good way, I hope there's many more. Okay, so thanks for listening, and I hope I am not crazy. Okay, and if I am, I am, but we know what we saw, and everybody we talked to, without telling them, they know what we saw. So anyways, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and it's like I said, please like, subscribe, press the notification button, ask for a friend request, and all that. I'm not into girly pictures. I've got them showing up for a friend request, but they're just showing their bodies. I'm not into that kind of stuff online. Okay, I don't get into that, because I do check if you got a web page, like a Facebook page. I do check if you got a YouTube channel, an Instagram, TikTok, because I have all those, and X as well. I look you when you send me a friend request. I look you up. I want to make sure I'm talking to somebody that's for the right reason. I'm not looking for nudies or girly pictures or anything, because I take them and I just delete those requests. and I look at your about, you know, and profile. I look at that. A lot of people do that. But I don't accept every friend request because I do my research on you. I'm not a troll, I'm not a stalker. I just go and look and see if you're on the up and up, or you're just trying to get me to look at you because you want me to see you and your body. I'm married. I got a beautiful wife I love, and I got 2 daughters I love, and a grandson I love. So that's where my faith, and my both those two. So, guys, I'm gonna let you go. Okay, it's getting late here, and what time is it here? It's 11:46 p.m. on a Thursday night here. It's about almost a week ago. So, anyways, I'm gonna post this up. I gotta go through looking at it tomorrow, and do my stuff like I normally do for my videos, and this is staying as raw. Anyways, take care. Thank you for listening, and I hope to hear from you, and have your thoughts. And when you're out there, my prayers are with you when you're out there on your investigation. Hope you get to see and have the same experience that we're having, and having the fun, not play fun, having fun doing this. It is rewarding. It really is. Okay. Anyways, take care. God bless you all. Be safe out there. And as I say to everybody when I end a phone call or a video, so you keep on watching, and we'll keep on Squatch walking. Take care. Good night. Goodbye. And whoop whoop.